guys, today I'm going to show you how to make this cute hat inspired by Anya from Spy Family. This will be perfect for you or the anime lover in your life, and without further ado, let's get started. To make this hat, you're going to need light pink yarn, a little bit of black yarn, some gold crochet thread, black crochet thread, a 5mm hook, a 3.5mm hook, a 1.1mm hook, a yarn needle, and a dowel and some stuffing. So you're going to start with your light pink yarn and your 5mm hook. My general rule of thumb is if you're a small, chain 47, if you're a medium, chain 52, and if you're large, chain 57. Though of course this is customizable and not gospel, you can do whatever you want, but just keep in mind this is the length of the hat, not the width, so just keep that in mind. So I'm going to chain 52. Okay, so now that I have 52, whatever number you decided on, we're going to now half double crochet in each stitch, but skip the first 2 stitches. So now we're going to make 50 half double crochets. So 1. Oh, and if you don't know how to make a half double crochet, you loop over and you insert and then you pull through that loop, and then you have 3 on your hook, and then you pull through all 3. Easy peasy. Now just do that across the whole row. Okay, so we're back, and this is what you should have. This is what it should look like. So going into the next row and every row in the future, you're just going to want to chain 2 so your work doesn't go inward. There's kind of 2 different styles people do for these kind of hats, and I change them every once in a while. For me, I'm just going to yarn over and make a regular half double crochet. So if you're new to crochet, you'll see that each stitch makes a V. So to just do a half double crochet, you just want to put your hook through both loops, and then you pull through those 2 loops, and you have the 3, and then you just pull through 3. Now some people like the textured ribbed look on hats, and sometimes I do too, depending on, you know, what I'm making. So that's easy enough to do. So like I said, you have a V, right? This side is back loop and this side is front loop. So to do that ribbed look, every row you're gonna want to yarn over and put your hook in the back loop, and then you pull through, and then you pull through 3, and you do that for every stitch, every row. You don't switch loops, you don't do the front loop the next time, you do the back loop every time, and you get that fun rib look. Both look great, and both would look great with this pattern, so it's just kind of up to preference. But for me, I'm just going to do the regular half double crochets. So you're just going to want to do a half double crochet in each stitch across, and you're going to just repeat the process of doing half doubles across and then chaining 2 and then doing the next row like that. It's a really simple pattern to make a really cute beanie. For me, since I'm doing a medium, I'm going to do 54 rows. If you're making a small, I do 50 rows, and so if you're doing medium, 54, if the large, 58. So this part is just how long like you want to be like around your head. So you just go until it can wrap around your head nice, not too large, not too small. So I'll meet you back here when I'll show you how to assemble the hat. Ta-da! This is what it should look like. That took a long time, didn't it? Just to give you a visual, this is what's going to look like. I like the stitches going vertical, not horizontal, and you just have a fold up rim like this. Okay, so what you're going to do is fold it in half lengthwise, and then you're going to chain 1, because now what we're going to do is we're going to single crochet along both edges and make a seam to kind of glue it together. So chain 1. You're gonna go through your stitch, that would be your next row, and then on here, this is a little bit harder to see because it's your first, round, it's your chain. So this takes a little bit of practice if you're new, but basically this is your chain 2. That's the 2 stitches you didn't go into. So you're gonna go into a single loop. This is your chain. And you know, it takes a lot of practice, so just make sure you do 50, and that's not too bunchy, you know? There's plenty of times I had to fake it till I made it, so just try your best. So you have your stitch on, and then you go into your chain here, and then so you're gonna yarn over and pull through that loop and that stitch at the same time. And then you yarn over and pull through the remaining 2 loops on your hook. So again, here's my next loop right here. And then you just pull through all of that, and then you do that. Bing. So yeah, you just go into your next one, you go right through again. So you're gonna go through all those and do the same process to make the seam. And so I'll meet you when we're done. Okay, this is what it should look like now that it has a seam. And yeah, so to seal off the hat, we're gonna do a slip stitch. So if you did your last single crochet, then it's so easy. So you're gonna want to cut off a tail. I usually like to do like 2 feet 18 inches. So once you cut it, then all you're gonna want to do is yarn over and pull through that loop, and it creates a knot. So from this point, we're going to seal up the top of the hat to make it look more like a hat and less like a tube. So you're going to want to grab a yarn needle. What I like to do is you go through the top. You see like how every row, like what that looks like? I basically just weave over and under each one. So you're just going to continue that motion. Sometimes to keep it from like, because sometimes like when you pull it, when you get to the end, sometimes you don't want to break the string, so I'll kind of pull it as I go along just to keep it from like creating too much tension in the front of the yarn tail, because that's a disaster. So then sometimes it gets like caught, so you're just gonna be gentle, but keep like, if it bunches, just try to guide the yarn through a little bit better, but just keep pulling. And you know what, sometimes it just doesn't cinch as well as you'd like. I'll show you, I'm getting a feeling that's how it's gonna be with this hat, so I'll show you how to fix it. So of course on my first pattern, this is as close as I can get it. But it's a good thing, because then I can show you if it happens at home, what I do. So I kind of just get less precise at this point, and I just kind of just go through and still kind of do that in and out method. Again, make it clean, don't like go through the middle of stitches. And I just keep like going in and out of just random stitches at the top just to cinch it more. And again, keep like pulling as you're going along. Just keep going around and around until it closes. See how it's starting to close? That's what you're looking for. And keep in mind, okay, I was going to say this afterwards, but this is the inside of the hat. I like to close it from the inside. And that way, you know, because the seam will also be on the inside. So, when you flip it inside out, like, it'll look better. But don't worry about the fact that you think you're going to have all this, like, junk here. It's going to be on the inside. Okay, so that's pretty closed. So when I get to this point, I'll just kind of like go into a stitch near the center, and then on the other side near the center, and start to just like sew the hole shut. Then you go on like the opposite side to make like a cross shape. Basically just cinching the center closed at this point. That looks pretty good. So when you flip it inside out, that's what you have. Yep, looks nice. Everyone's none the wiser, and that's what it looks like. Okay, so your hat part is done. You're going to need your black yarn and your 3.5mm hook. And what you're going to do first is make a slip stitch, or slip knot. You're going to make a slip knot. Then you're going to chain 2. And then, I know this is hard because it's black, but you're going to go into the first stitch, okay? And then you're going to do 4 single crochets. 3 and 4. You're going to want to keep this tail because you're going to use it to just stitch up this little hole here. So once you have 4, the next thing you're going to do, you're going to just single crochet around. So you're just going to do 4 stitches. Now I know it's black and it's hard, but you're just going to go into your first stitch, which is right here. And you're just going to do a single crochet. So 1, and then the last stitch right here, 4. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to put an increase into each 4 of those 4 stitches. So to make a total of 8. So to find the first one, it's right here. Okay, so 1, and then you go in there again in the same stitch to make an increase. So then 2. 3, 4, and 8. Okay, and now we're going to single crochet around those 8 stitches. 1, 2, and 8. I'm going to take some of this pink yarn from before and I'm going to use it as a marker. So if you don't know how to do that, you take your hook out of here, out of the loop, and you put it through the stitch here, like that. And some people cut off a piece. I'm just going to use the whole attached yarn. And you're just going to pull it through, so that way you don't lose your spot. The next row, you're going to do a single crochet into the first, like that, and then to the next stitch you're going to do an increase. So 1, 2, and you're going to do that all the way around, and you're going to have a total of 12 stitches. Take out your marker to do the increase. Take out your hook and remark it. So this next row is not going to be single crocheting around, it's going to be another increase round. So to do that, we're going to do a single crochet in the first 2 stitches and then an increase in the third. Increase. 2 singles. Increase. And do that all the way around. When you land on the marker, unless it's just a single crochet round, you should always land on an increase. That's how you know you're doing it right. If you don't, then you pull it till you get to the marker. That's the beauty of the marker. So I'm going to pull it out and I'm going to re-put in the marker. So for the next round, you guessed it, we're going to single crochet into the first 4 and then increase. 1, 2. For this next round, we are going to do a just single crochet all the way around. You should have a total of 24 stitches at this point. Okay, so for this next round, we're going to single crochet into the first 5 and then increase. Okay, so we're almost there. We only have 2 rounds left. You can see how it's starting to take shape. So for this next row, we're just going to do a single crochet all the way around for a total of 28 stitches. Okay, so for this final round, we are going to do a single crochet into the first 6 stitches and then an increase for the last time. Okay, so this is what you should have. To finish it off, you're going to do a slip stitch. I like to usually do it into the next stitch. So you're going to insert your hook into the next stitch, and then you're going to yarn over and pull through that stitch, and then you're going to take that same loop and pull through this remaining loop. Then you cut off a long tail because we're going to use this to sew it onto the hat. I usually like to have like a good amount, like maybe 18 inches to, 2 feet, whatever. It's not exact science, but just enough just to sew it on there. And you're going to want to repeat this to get 2, and I'll meet you back here when you have 2. So at this point I have both of my cone shapes. This one I've already finished off and stuffed. So I'm going to tell you how to do it this way. Because you might be looking at it and thinking like maybe you did something wrong or it's just not right, but that is the power of filler, my friends. So just gonna take some. You don't want to like stuff it too quickly because then it just won't go into this tip very well. You want to stretch that tip out as much as possible so it doesn't look as wonky. So you take your dowel and you just really like compress it in there. See, now it's looking better. So you gotta trust me. You know what I'm talking about. Actually, don't trust me because I forgot to tell you something. Remember that string from before that I told you not, that tail? Pull it through outwards. Pull it outwards. Then put the fluff back in. So you're just gonna want to shape it. It takes a lot of time to shape. Like, it takes more fluff than you'd realize, but look how much better that shape is. Like, it looks so much better. Now that we're doing the base, you can use less because obviously too, you don't want the stuffing to just fall out. Like, that's just wasting your time. Just stuff it enough because when we attach it to the hat, we're gonna do the final stuffing. To fill it out when it's attached to the hat. But just use your fingers a bit and just like mold it. But see, it's looking better now. See? So then what I like to do with this little tail is I like to take my needle and then just go through the top here, just so it seals it, so the stuffing doesn't come out the top. Like so. And then I'll put it back down in just to hide it. For the trim, you're gonna need gold thread. You're also gonna need black thread, and you're gonna switch hooks again. And I used the 1.1. So to start, we're going to begin with the black thread. This is just so it blends in with the yarn. Okay, so I found that the number to go all the way around here is, for me, it was 60 chains. For you, it might be different because every yarn's different. If it needs more, you know, just do it so like it goes around the very bottom edge, the widest point, and you should be golden. Okay, so I'm gonna make a total of 60 chains, but with the black, you're only gonna do 58 chains. Okay, you're gonna do gold with the last two. Okay, so I have 58 chains. So the next thing I'm going to do is grab my gold here. And you know how like when you chain, you just pull it through the loop? Well, we're just going to do that same thing, but with the gold. So we're going to pull in this loop through the black. And you're going to want to like tug both tails of the black and the gold because it's going to want to like be loose. But yeah. Anyways, so now do 2 more chains. 59, 60. Okay. Now, you're gonna trim your black thread off and just leave a little tail, and you can now get rid of the black. And to secure it, you're gonna take the gold tail and the black tail and tie a knot. A double knot. Okay. So, because your last 2 stitches are gold, that's because we're turning our work and doing double crochets into the first black chain of the going backwards. So to do a double, you yarn over, and then you're going to go into this first black chain on the side, and you're going to yarn over with your gold and pull through. You're going to have 3 loops. Yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. That's a double. So you're going to repeat that 3 more times. So 1, 2, and 3 for a total of 4. We're doing a scalloped edge to get that effect. So then we're going to skip the next 2 chains, 1, 2, and then in the third one, you're going to do a slip stitch. So to do that, pull through the black loop, and then take that same loop and pull through the gold. So you're going through both. You skip 2, and into the third one, you're going to do 4 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then you're just going to keep repeating that process to get the scalloped edge. Going to skip the next 2. Into the third, we're going to do a slip stitch, and then skip 2. And into the third, we're going to do 4 double crochets. Two, 3, and 4. Okay, so that's what it should look like, and we're going to just repeat that all the way down. So I'll meet you back when you have it. Okay, so this is how it looks when it's all done. I'm just going to finish it off with a slip stitch, so when you have this loop, just pull through. I'm going to cut actually I'm not. I'm going to cut like just a little tail, because I think I'm just going to hot glue it around the hat. If you want to sew it around the hat, then leave a tail, but I don't do that, so I'm just gonna pull it through. Boop. So that's what you should have. And then repeat the process. So you have two, one for each, obviously, like I do here. And then I'll meet you back so we can attach it. So I'm gonna hot glue the trim in. I'm gonna keep one pin in place and then just like glue this one that's pinned down. Just gonna put it down gentle. So, you know, you only got one shot. Okay, that went well. Just go on to the next scallop. Ooh, here they are done, and I actually think they look really cute. And I think they'll look so cute on the hat, so let's go attach them real quick. Okay, so here we have our hat, and my real suggestion to you is to try it on, mark where you think they should go, and then sew it on. So I like them around here. I'm just gonna obviously do one at a time, so I'm gonna line it up so that the seam is here, so that's perfectly like split. And then I'm just gonna sew it on like that, at least until you get a good chunk of it sewn on. Take your yarn needle and we're just gonna sew it to the hat. Okay, so I'm almost done with sewing this first doohickey on. I just left a little opening here, and so now I'm going to stuff it like crazy, like as much as it'll hold. Now that I got it all stuffed, I'm just going to finish sewing it. And then I'm gonna try it on again. I can't stress that enough. I'm gonna try it on again and then match the other side, mark it, and then sew that on and do the same process with stuffing it and sewing it on. I got them both sewn on and stuffed, and it looks so cute. There's only one thing left to do, and that is just deal with these tails, both on the back of these and the black. And it's super simple. First of all, I'm gonna cut the blacks pretty short. Boop. Boop. All I'm gonna do is just stuff it into the cone that we made. And you're just gonna do the same thing with these as well. Just be sure to do it on the other side. Okay, and that's your new hat. It came out so cute, and I'm so happy to be on YouTube, so happy to be sharing my patterns on here, and I just hope that you subscribe and give this video a like, and I'll try to get out a video every week. Let me know in the description if you like the pattern. Let me know what animes you want me to do in the future. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.